Hi, I'm Paddycake, and this is my best friend, Brent. We've been besties for a while now, and one of the things we bonded over was our shared love of Madlibs. On Christmas a few years ago, Brent pitched the idea to me to create a show where we use AI art to accentuate the humor of Madlibs. 3 weeks later, we started filming, and we haven't stopped since. Through this project, we hope to share our weird humor and to highlight both the unexpected beauty and complete absurdity of AI-generated art. Welcome to MidJourney Madlibs. Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please come in and make yourself at home. My name is Paddycake. Welcome to Paddycake Games and the next episode of MidJourney Madlibs. And with me, as always, is my best friend, my co-host, my compatriot, Brent. How you doing?
I'm swell.
Swell. All right, well, you guys know how this works. Super easy.
Yeah.
We send each other Madlibs. We send each other the answers to go into those Madlibs. We then take those sentences. We run them through MidJourney. We create a series of art. We get together. We share it with each other, and we laugh. And that's the show. And we hope you like it. And if you do like it, look down below the video and click on that thumbs up button. That just means you like the video. And right next to that, there's a button called subscribe. You can click on that. That really helps out the channel a lot. And if you want to be really thorough, click the notification bell. That lets you know when new videos get posted to the channel. And then you can also look in the description of the video. There's a link to a Discord. Come and join our Discord. We have a lot of fun there. There's lots of really cool people that come out. They hang out with us. You can chat with me. You can chat with Brent. You can also check out the art from the show, because after each episode airs, the art will be available to view up close and personal on the Discord. That being said, we're ready to get started. And I'm first tonight, and I was really happy with how this one came out. A lot of it's actually really pretty, which I kind of expected based on the artist. But it's weird how it melded some of it together. But this is the Men in Stone, Mount Rushmore. And my art's in the style of Claude Monet. Oscar Claude Monet was born on November 14, 1840 in Paris. He was the second son of Claude Adolphe and Louise Justine Aubray Monet, both of them second-generation Parisians. In 1845, his family moved to Le Havre in Normandy. His father, a wholesale merchant, wanted him to go into the family ship chandling and grocery business, but Monet wanted to become an artist. His mother was a singer and supported Monet's desire for a career in the arts. On April 1st, 1851, he entered the Le Havre Secondary School of the Arts. Sometime around 1858, he met fellow artist Eugène Boudin, who would encourage Monet to develop his techniques. He taught him the outdoor techniques for painting and took Monet on many painting excursions. Monet thought of Boudin as his master, whom he owed everything to for his later success. From 1858 to 1860, Monet continued his studies in Paris, where he enrolled in Académie Suisse. He was called for military service and served under the African hunters in Algeria from 1861 to 1862. The time in Algeria had a powerful effect on Monet, who later said that the light and vivid colors of North Africa contained the gem of my future researches. Upon his return to Paris, with the permission of his father, he divided his time between his childhood home and the countryside, and he also enrolled in Charles Glaire's studio, where he met Pierre-Auguste Renoir and Frédéric Bazille, the latter eventually becoming his closest friend. During his time, he painted Woman in Garden, his first successful large-scale painting, and Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe, largely viewed as the most important painting of Monet's early period. In 1867, his then-mistress, Camille Dancieux, whom he had met 2 years earlier as a model for his paintings, gave birth to their first child, Jean. Monet had a strong relationship with Jean, claiming that Camille was his lawful wife, so Jean would be considered legitimate. Monet loved his family dearly, painting many portraits of them, such as Child with a Cup, a portrait of Jean Monnet. This painting in particular shows the first signs of Monet's later famous impressionistic work. He married Camille on June 28, 1870, just before the outbreak of the Franco-Prussian War. During the war, he and his family lived in London and the Netherlands to avoid conscription. While living in London, Monet befriended his first and primary art dealer, Paul Durand-Ruel, an encounter that would be decisive for his career. The term Impressionism was coined by the art critic Louis Leroy, who wrote a hostile review taking particular notice of Impression Sunrise, which was a hazy depiction of the Le Havre port. Conservative critics and the public derided the group, with the term initially being ironic and denoting that the painting was unfinished. After developing methods for painting transient effects, Monet would go on to seek more demanding subjects, new patrons, and new collectors. His paintings produced in the early 1870s left a lasting impact on the movement and his peers. In 1876, Camille Monet became seriously ill. Their second son, Michel, was born in 1878, after which Camille's health deteriorated further. In 1878, Camille was diagnosed with uterine cancer and passed the following year. In 1883, Monet and his family rented a house and gardens in Giverny, which provided him domestic stability he had not yet enjoyed. The house was situated near the main road between the towns of Vernon and Gasny and Giverny. There was a barn that doubled as a painting studio, orchards, and a small garden. The surrounding landscape provided numerous natural areas for Monet to paint. The family worked and built up the gardens, and Monet's fortunes began to change for the better as Durand Ruel had increasing success in selling his paintings. The gardens were Monet's greatest source of inspiration for 40 years. In 1899, he began painting the water lilies that would occupy him continuously for the next 20 years of his life, being his last and most ambitious sequence of paintings. Depictions of the water lilies with alternating light and mirror-like reflections became an integral part of his work. Monet died of lung cancer on December 5, 1926, at the age of 86, and is buried in the Giverny Church Cemetery. Monet had insisted that the occasion be simple, thus only about 50 people attended the ceremony. At his funeral, Georges Clemenceau, a close friend, removed the black cloth draped over the coffin, stating "No black for Monet," and replaced it with a flower-patterned cloth. Monet's home, garden, and water lily pond were bequeathed by his younger son Michel to the French Academy of Fine Arts in 1966. The house and gardens were opened for visits in 1980 following their restoration. Throughout his life, Monet went against the grain, pursuing a career that defied his father's wishes, creating art that defied the classic conventions of the time, and as a result, he created canvases of such exquisite beauty that they are still loved and admired to this day. So please enjoy this Madlib with art in the style of the great Claude Monet.
So a French painter is going to interpret the American heartland.
Interestingly enough, yes. Mount Rushmore is one of the world's most polka-dotted sculptures.
I had no idea.
Neither did I. Of course, I've never been there. I've seen all these pictures of it, you know, in books and on TV and
black
in
and
movies,
white.
and I don't remember seeing any of this. I got lots of really interesting stuff, but this was my favorite out of the ones that I saw. It's so 70s psychedelic, you know, or late 60s, early 70s. The 23 men carved on the face of the cheese wedge. Sorry, let me...
Wait, what? It cut out.
It's because
I need to hear this.
Because I started laughing. I haven't read the rest yet.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that section. Okay. The 23 men carved on the face of the cheese wedge represent the first 150 years of American history.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's only 16, but maybe there's more on the other side.
I mean, it's really cool because it kind of reminds me of something that you would see like at the county fair of like a really big county. Where it's a cheese
cheese
sculpture,
carver.
you know.
Yeah, he does sculptures and stuff, and this is like his big thing that he did for the show. Yeah, I know what you mean. They are Chester, Washington, the bubble of our country.
Chester, Washington.
For some reason, he looks like a Chester, Washington, doesn't he?
It's so wild. It's so funny because, I mean, there were Chester presidents.
Yeah,
so the fact that we, Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson, who floated the Declaration of Kittens.
Wow. He really went overboard, didn't he?
He embraced kittens so much, became one.
So is this cosplay like that he's doing, or is this like his own cat that he has made up to look?
He made a portrait, or he had a portrait
like
done.
A woman.
Well, actually, it's not quite portrait, because if you look, the frame, they like go in front of the frame. So if it is a portrait, it's a portrait of them.
That could just be a device.
Well, the thing is, if it is a portrait, it's a portrait of them standing in front of a portrait, which is really weird. Abraham Lincoln, who united the sock during the Pinkish War.
Well, so basically the war started because somebody put a red shirt in with the whites.
Possibly. I mean, I wanted to start a war when that happened. And Kevin Roosevelt, who people said looked very much like the sculptor.
He's obviously related to Eleanor.
Anyway.
I love the sculptor has to stand next to this thing over here to make this whole thing believable.
Right? Because it's the big green thing. I mean, I guess, I don't know if it's supposed to be like the hair in the middle. It just sort of like goes way too far out. Or if they have like
maybe
a weird growth.
Like a comb over, and maybe it's a comb over, and this is like a photo of them, like, you know, with their comb over blowing up, like something like that happened to Trump, I think. And this guy just decides to make a sculpture of that moment. Like,
maybe so.
You know, it's just cruel.
The fingers of the presidents are amazing, especially the one that's giving you the bird.
Wow. Wow. I was like, okay. Which one is that, I wonder? So many choices.
Each eye is 7 feet wide.
Sorry. Okay. So that means that it's about 8 feet above me. So. And those back there are about 20 feet away. Okay. And I don't really like the looks of this body of very slow moving water that I'm in. So I'm really not sure whether I should take my chances by diving or
it's rather shallow.
Hide in the underbrush.
It's rather shallow because there's a person walking over here.
Though then again, what can these eyes do to me? Because I don't see any mouths.
No, they're just eyes. They just look at you. They just look at you. That's enough. Must they do more? Each knee is 20 feet long.
Wow, Monet. That's some really weird stuff there. I mean, you should have like studied Da Vinci more, I think.
Yeah, basic anatomy probably would have helped a lot. Every year, the Damaged Park Service inspects the carving for wheels. I don't know what this is, but he should probably stop inspecting it. I don't think it's
really
sanitary.
It really does look alive.
It does.
I mean, hopefully it's not feces. It could be a lamprey or a really, really large earthworm or a pupa of some sort. But okay,
yeah.
Let's just pretend it's Mothra.
Okay. They work hard to flop any cracks on the soaking wet National Monument.
So I feel like the previous one would have worked better for that sentence. But.
So what I like in this is the bottom section of this is a classic Monet because it's a lily pad
Yes,
and flowers.
water lily.
Yes. And then the top half of it is like it's made up from the prompt because they're inspecting the soaking wet monument for wheels. Apparently, I don't know where they would find them, but yeah. Anyway, that's why I liked it.
It's like kind of like Thunder River with water lilies.
Yeah, kind of. Make sure you add a visit to this incredible monument to your poodle list.
It's the poodle shrub. It looks so lifelike,
right? Especially the top. Like, how did they get the muzzle and the ears to grow like that? You know, what kind of plant does that sort of growth that they could use to make that sort of shape? And how do they make it grow up there? I mean, the eyes and the nose, that's not a big deal. Those are not actual plants. That's part of the framework. But still, I mean, I know it's just, I'm being stupid.
Cypress has that hair-looking kind of growth there. Maybe it's a cypress tree that was specially shaped.
All right, well, that's the end of the Madlib. Would you like to see some even weirder honorable mentions?
Oh, sure thing.
If I remember correctly, there's not as many on this one as there was on Monday's Madlib. But here's the first one. Oh, this is Thomas Jefferson, who floated the Declaration of Kittens. I like this one because it got every bit of the prompt in there. So it has Thomas Jefferson, it has a kitten, and it has float because he's walking down a river and there's boats floating in the river behind him.
And it looks very Monet.
Yes, and there's water lilies in the river if you look closely. This is Abraham Lincoln and his many, many pink socks.
I mean, I guess, when you're fighting the pinkish war, you have to, live it every day.
I do love that he was enough fashion conscious that he knew to match his tie with his socks.
and the black tie is okay in that one case, but that is great. That's so funny.
This is another interpretation where he's just standing there holding a giant pink sock.
I cannot tell a lie. I put a red shirt with the white.
that was George Washington.
Well, I mean, he was called Honest Abe, though.
Oh,
so.
That's true.
And who wears that sock? An elephant?
It is rather large. It's oddly shaped, too. And that is it. That's it for my Madlib for tonight.
No more poodles?
No more poodles.
Well, I'll give you some dogs.
Well, before we get to that, I have another blender. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Will It's Blend, the show where we take weird images from last season, shove them in a blender, and find out just how weird we can make them. What are we working with today? Let's find out. We're starting with episode number 7. And we will be using Prince Madlib and image number 14. What was that? Oh yeah, the boy band standing on the wrong side of the keyboard. The power ballad conventioneers. Okay, so what are we blending that with? We're gonna blend that with episode 20. Something from my Madlib. And it will be image number 4. And oh, Basquiat. I forgot about that one. Oh yeah, that was the Spoony Desires. I've always wanted to use the word spoony. So what happens when we take the conventioneers and combine them with the spoons? We get the Spoony Conventioneers. But let's try another. Our next one is coming from episode 16. Tygrr's Madlib. And image number 14. What is that going to be? Oh, those weird feet. The power of real lizards. So what are we going to combine that weird picture with? Episode 24, the season finale. Brent's Madlib, and I do remember the season finale for Brent was the Golden Girls Madlib, so let's find out what image we're using. Image number 1, the very first one. Yes, clearing your belly button, which for some reason gave us that. We have to find out what it's going to be when we combine those, so let's see. Oh, the power of lizard belly buttons. That's about as weird as I expected. But of course, we're not done. We have to blend the blends. So if we take those and put them together... the spoony power of lizard belly buttons. Yeah, they blend. They look like weird children's TV show characters.
Didn't we already do Dinotopia?
Yeah, we kind of did.
It is time for the other new Madlib I got over the weekend.
Oh, cool. They both came from the new books.
I'm
cool.
going to get a lot of mileage out of this one. This one is Greatest Grandma Madlibs.
Oh, nice.
This is Nana's Secret Life. And it's in the style of Alejandro Berdicio. And a little bit extra as part of this balanced breakfast.
I forgot about that.
Alejandro Berdicio, born in Cordoba in 1966, an Argentine artist and illustrator, is best known for his imaginative and visually striking diesel punk and retro-futuristic style. He is known professionally as Berda. His work often features fantastical scenes of floating rusted and dilapidated cars, buildings, and other mechanical objects, giving life to a universe where gravity-defying vehicles and urban landscapes are commonplace. Berda's aesthetic blends science fiction with gritty realism, creating dystopian cityscapes filled with soaring structures and worn-down machinery. His distinct vision captures a sense of nostalgia, particularly for classic cars and industrial design, while offering a glimpse into a possible future. In keeping with his aesthetic, Berda's creative works are completed digitally using a Wacom Intuos 3 drawing tablet and Photoshop CS 5.1, and yet they are as detailed and vibrant as the most intricate painting, maybe more so. Berda's influences include classic science fiction and automotive design, particularly from the mid-20th century. His background as an architect and concept artist plays a significant role in shaping the structural intricacies and mechanical details of his art. His work recalls the art of Jean Giraud, Mobius, while also drawing from steampunk and cyberpunk subgenres. One of his first artistic influences was Juan Jimenez, a pioneer Argentine comic book artist with a strong retro-futuristic aesthetic, who created the Harry Canyon segment in the classic animated film Heavy Metal. Some of Berda's most notable works include his series Berda Motos, which showcases various hovering vehicles, often reminiscent of vintage cars, in various states of decay and repair. His piece Plaza Berdinsky, for example, exemplifies his ability to blend humor, fantasy, and mechanics in a surreal urban environment, all while maintaining a grounded, almost photographic realism in his execution. Before focusing on his futuristic cityscapes and floating cars, Alejandro Berdicio was an architectural draftsman. His knowledge of architecture is evident in his highly detailed work, but many are surprised to learn that his experience as a draftsman started out with much more conventional and technical designs, far removed from the whimsical and otherworldly creations he's now known for. This background gives his imaginary vehicles and structures a sense of believability and functionality despite their surreal settings. Now please enjoy my Madlib in the artistic style of Berda. There wasn't a lot of breakfast there, but you'll see some now. On the outside, my Nana is a regular grandmother who likes to bake butter chicken with basmati rice, knit my dirty undies.
Ew.
No, sorry. Let me rephrase that. On the outside. Sorry.
You're not rephrasing it. You're just reading it.
Yes, I'm going to tell you right now that this sentence is mostly your nightmare in the making. It is a long sentence, but you didn't help. So, on the outside, my Nana is a regular grandmother who likes to bake butter chicken with basmati rice, knit me dirty undies, and care for 92 cats.
Oh, okay, and that's all we got. Okay, 2 cats and bowls of. I guess that's not butter chicken. It just looks like bowls of rice, but she's half there.
Popcorn. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of pictures. I could have given you any one of 20, I think, for this prompt. I got a lot. But recently, while snooping in her junk, what kind of family is this? No,
right?
Okay. But recently, while I was snooping in her junk, I discovered she used to have a secret life as a gleeful spy.
Oh, she doesn't look very gleeful.
I love, though, that she's like in this very cheery dress and next to this ambiguous contraption that,
right?
You know,
kind of looks like a radio, but also kind of looks like an oven, like a toaster oven. Or you can kind of type on it, maybe. Looks kind of high tech for the age that she is, like the era that she's from. It also looks like the walls are lined with the newspaper.
Newspaper, exactly. I mean, maybe that's what every day they put the newspaper up on the walls, and she knows all of this information. She can speak 510 languages and decipher clogged up codes.
Oh my God. Nana, your hair. What have you done? And why are you eating a poached egg on plain noodles? It is very Asian too. Like all the language on the buildings is in Asian. It actually looks Japanese this time. The food in front of her, it's served in a very Asian way. The bowls look very Asian.
Yeah.
It looks like Asian food. It's interesting that it went that route.
She used to wear all sorts of disguises, like olive wigs and fake thyroid glands on her face.
Oh, why? Ew! Oh my God!
Why do you do that? She goes, oh my God, it freaks everybody out. It's so funny.
It's not funny. She needs help.
I'm sure that those are thyroid glands.
Oh my
okay.
God, okay.
My stomach hurts a little. One time, she pretended to be a scientist so she could sneak into the secret oil refinery of Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, go ahead. She dressed for the occasion too.
Kind of. I mean, was she exploded at some point since she got here? Her lab coat looks a little threadbare there. But I love it, that post. She's just like, I'm a scientist.
Right?
And this is we need to call a safety inspector because this does not look like a safe refinery.
No, this refinery is obviously derelict. I think he is lying and saying that it's actually operational. This could be money laundering.
It turned out they had stolen millions of sick giraffes.
Oh, those poor dears.
And were hiding them. And they were hiding them in their bumblebee room.
Oh my God, the poor giraffe. Why Why did they put them in the room that's on fire?
I mean, and did you have to like, let's put him in a room that looks like a giant giraffe? Thanks to my Nana, the criminal is now locked up behind bars and is only allowed to collect once a week.
Oh, poor guy.
Now I put in there the criminal Mark Wahlberg or Marky Mark,
right?
So that it would actually get. But I got so many pitiful pictures of like sort of Mark Wahlberg, sort of Donnie Wahlberg hybrids. Wait, could my Nana still be a clumpy spy?
You don't tell nobody. Nana's gonna have to
like,
kill you.
Gosh, gotten dark again. Wow. Could she be spying on me right now with the secret camera hidden in a toy rabid corgi? Whoopity doo!
Ah! I would suspect something. I don't know. Wouldn't you?
Those eyes look totally natural to me. I mean, don't all rabid corgis look like that? Now it's time for some dishonorable mentions.
I see another rabid corgi.
Some of these are amazing here. Oh, but recently while I was snooping in her junk, I discovered she used to have a secret life as a gleeful spy.
She was just hiding in a box of old crap.
And junk. Like, she's like, oh, oops. I was in the middle of changing. And there's like a room underneath her
right.
that looks like an old junk. Boy. She used to wear all sorts of disguises like olive wigs and fake thyroid glands on her face.
Oh, God. Oh, gross. That is definitely kind of an olive wig, though. So nicely done there, MidJourney.
I love it. It's so, like, it's such bad. Like, are you supposed to blend in or completely stand out?
Exactly.
I mean, unless maybe you're attending some sort of medical conference where you're representing a disease or something. Thyroid cancer. What if it was on your face? Then you do something about it. Sorry. One time. My fake commercial. Or my what do they call them? PSAs.
Yeah. Then you do something about it.
One time she pretended to be a scientist so she could sneak into the secret oil refinery of Mark Wahlberg. Did anybody believe you were a scientist? I mean, you're in this ball gown swinging from what? I don't know. I mean, I understand the anatomy of towers at refineries. Both my parents worked at them, and you're on the wrong part, lady. It turned out they had stolen millions of sick giraffes and were hiding them in their bumblebee room. The more you look at this picture, the more confusing.
I know. I agree. It's like, what are all these things? They look like little like rafts or floaties or something, but then there's like panda-like creatures mixed in with them, and some of them look like they're actually separate and autonomous, and others look like they're part of the things. And then the giraffe looks like it's
a blow-up giraffe.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't look real. And why is he wearing the mask? I just noticed the mask.
What?
He's wearing a mask. Why is he wearing a mask?
Oh, the guy on the giraffe.
Yes.
I just thought it was an animal. Oh. So it's a guy wearing an animal mask. It's such a mess. All across the board, I got giraffes of different sorts. Some looked like they were coughing. Some looked like they were just hanging around in a room.
Mm-hmm.
There was even one with bumblebees flying over some. But this one took the cake.
Oh my god! What the hell is this thing?
What is that? That does not look like a sick giraffe. It's a very, very sick giraffe. It is. It looks more like a Tygrr.
Yeah, it's some sort of a cat
kid drew
thing.
it, and then it came to life. And it looks like it has a bird on it, sitting on it, whatever that limb is. There's way too many limbs. It is very sick. It is so weird. It's like Tony the Tiger or something.
Oh my god, maybe that's why it did it.
And that's Nana's Secret Life. That's one of the ones that I got for the cover. That's the alternate cover, like I threw at the end now. It looks very Flintstone-y.
What is she holding?
Well, some kind of pistol and
No, the other thing. Are those mushrooms? Potatoes?
They look like peaches.
Are they potatoes?
One of them looks kind of like a dirty peach. But sorry.
It also, and I think this is. I
feel like if it's not in Urban Dictionary, dirty peach needs to be in the Urban Dictionary.
Oh.
And scene.
Okay. let's move on.
That's like gonna be on like our expose like 20 years from now or whatever. Well, my Nana told me one time that she was Vanna White on Wheel of Fortune.
She was Vanna White? Wow.
Well, I mean,
on
for Halloween.
Oh, for Halloween. Well, on Wheel Fortune! Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Hope it don't suck. That's right. We're going to spin our Wheel of Fortune and find out what our word themes are going to be like in next week's episodes of MidJourney Madlibs. As you see, we only have 4 left. This is our last word theme of the season.
Slim pickings.
Yeah, slim pickings. So we're going to spin it 4 times. I'm going to alternate, so it's always a surprise. I'll spin for Brent first this time. Go ahead.
Almost always a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, by the third spin, the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so for Brent's first word theme of next week is single letter. So all of your words have to begin with this letter. Oh, wow. Z.
Oh,
you got a hard one.
Wow. This is going to be a wild Mad Lib.
My first Madlib theme is QWERTY.
QWERTY.
All right, so I go down the keyboard. Okay, Brent, your second word theme for next week. Things of a certain color.
So I get both the wheels.
You do. So here's your color.
Purple.
Blue. Blue things.
Wow, like both times I called the thing right after the thing I called.
All
so
right.
Blue and Z. Blue
and
Z.
Gee, I wonder what mine is going to be.
Wait,
synonyms.
so synonyms. Synonyms is the one where I get to change them.
Yes.
After you send me the word.
Yes. When I send you my words. No, it's mine. One of yours.
You change them.
One of yours is the synonyms one, and when you send me the words, I change them to the synonyms of those words.
Yeah. So I get a super surprise.
Yes. Well, that's it. That's our word themes in next week's episodes of MidJourney Madlibs.
So we had a happy accident during the break there, and I just said "wowie kaplowie," and so I feel like "wowie kaplowie" is going to be in next week's Madlibs. Hopefully, somebody needs to say a funny word. Or
I will make sure.
Exclamation.
I will make sure.
But
that I have one with an exclamation in it so that... Well, actually, you know what? You find one with an exclamation in it also, and I'll send you Wowie Kaplowie, and then whatever exclamation you send me, I'll change it to Wowie Kaplowie. Just I'll make sure you do the synonym one on that one.
That'll be hilarious. Okay. Anyway, y'all, it'll be even a bigger Wowie Kaplowie if y'all would all subscribe to us. And then, you know, like the shows and watch them all the way through, and, you know, tell anybody you know who likes Madlibs. You know that lady who always like shows you the perfect melons to buy, and she always has a Madlib in her basket. Tell her about us.
That's really specific.
If she exists, I want to know. Anyway, y'all come back next week, please, and enjoy your weekend.
Make sure you click like and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Like and subscribe.
The algorithm demands it.